7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Howdy, Croc Nation. Dr. Tommy and Ellie here with you with another amazing Croc podcast. Along with me is my page, my valet, my co-host, my best buddy, the master of disaster, the professor of the seminary, Angel Santana. Have faith, let it begin. Angel, I am so excited today. We get to talk to my favorite guest of all time.
There's nothing better than being on the other side. There's a great segue to be with one of our, definitely one of our favorite creators and podcasters out there. But more importantly, coming together and reuniting and to do a collaboration is what this is all about. Yes, Dr. E, I have been waiting and we said offline, I am strapped in. My tray tables are in the upright position and Croc Airlines is ready to take flight.
Fantastic. And I want to just kind of sort of a little background. So in the clinic, we get so many magazines and so many cancer journals and cancer survivor journals and cancer survivor stories. And, we get inundated. And I just happened to be looking or leafing through one of them. And I came upon an article about a cancer doula. So anyone who doesn't know what a doula is, it's someone who facilitates or assists a patient during a process. So you can have a birth doula, you could have a death doula, and I had never heard of a cancer doula. So I read the article, and the spirit and the soul, the energy, the kindness, the goodness of this woman was just jumping off of the magazine. It was just, the magazine was like it was like the burning bush of articles. And I thought, do you think this lady would even talk to us? So I sent her an email, and she was so kind and receptive and such an elegant and dignified person. And she was so kind to come on. And we did an episode about what is a cancer doula. And I think what I love the most about Talaya is the fact that she is a survivor thriver. And I think, again, Angel, we say it every week. We do these podcasts for the benefit of our survivor thrivers, to give them the tools they need to have a better survivorship, to enjoy their life's journey with cancer after beating cancer. But we've never been sitting in that chair yet. It's not our turn. We will one day, but certainly not now. So it limits us. So when we get people like Talaya who has a personal experience and the profound impact of her diagnosis and how she was told that she had cancer while she was Friday night leaving corporate America on a freeway and getting a call from a nurse and being told that she has cancer, and then pulling over to a mall and stepping into a store, not knowing where she was or what she was doing, couldn't even process the information, and took that as sort of as an inspiration after her cure and her survivorship began to then circle back and change her life's destiny to be an advocate and a doula for cancer survivors. Angel, your thoughts before we introduce this amazing saint and angel? Angel.
They say that the man upstairs does not make mistakes. They put people at the right time, at the right place, and they're about to, sit front and center for this.
Talaya, welcome.
Oh, Dr. E and Angel, thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here with you today. And every time I come here, you make me want to cry, but good tears. It's just so nice to, have someone see you and really see what you're trying to do in the world. So thank you, gentlemen, so much. And I'm happy to be here with you.
Well, we thank you, and we thank you for your time. So I told you I was going to ask you this question, so it's not like I'm rabbit punching you. Give us an update on Talaya and on the other side, and please tell us how our listeners can get to you and your work and your podcast and your website.
Yes. So, Dr. E, I am still working on creating awareness about what a cancer doula is. A lot of people still are not aware. January 1st, to be exact, I was featured in an article with Sky News in the UK, and they actually did an article on myself and several other women who are doing work as doulas. So quickly, there are all kinds of doulas now. It goes beyond birth and death and cancer. There's divorce, menopause, I think there was one who lost their job, so they help people find jobs and things like that. So there are so many doulas, and it's really picking up now. Another thing that I'm really excited to be working on, Dr. E, is I am trying to create a platform. I'm calling it Navigating Cancer Together Cancer Community Platform, and a forum, I should say. And so it is going to be a space where thrivers, caregivers can come to a space that is not on social media, where they can see a lot of the information that I have to share. Videos, it's just like social media, but not on social media. Post information, updates, but then they will be able to communicate and comment in the privacy of a group. So they won't have to be fearful of what they share, how people will respond. It's all going to be in a private group. And so that is something that I'm really hoping to be able to launch in the next couple months. I just released the waiting list for it, and they can go to my website ontheotherside.life to join the wait list. And when they join and when the wait list is ready, they will get notification from me that, hey, it's open. Come on over. Let's start these discussions. Let's share information to support and uplift each other. Navigating Cancer Together is still going strong. That is my podcast. I think I'm at 157 episodes. I will be working or participating in Podcastathon this year. And so what it is a very special event hosted by Podcastathon. And it goes from, I want to say March 15th, I think through like the 21st, if I'm not mistaken. And it is an opportunity where podcasters have an ability to highlight a specific organization, a nonprofit. And so this might be something Angel and Dr. E, you might want to take part in. You dedicate a episode sharing information about this particular organization to help create awareness. And if money's raised, great, but it's really about creating awareness. And it's a really great opportunity. So I hope that people will keep an eye out for that. I am planning to release that special episode March 19th. Yes, March 19th. That's a Wednesday. And so keep an eye out for Podcastathon. And again, it's an opportunity for podcasters to highlight their favorite nonprofit organization to get more eyes on it and eventually support more people. So those are some of the things that I'm working on. I have some other things cooking, but I kind of want to keep quiet on it a little bit to kind of see what happens. Most recently, I released another side of On the Other Side, and it is where I support healthcare providers and nurses, and I provide them with health and wellness coaching for nurses and other healthcare workers who are suffering from burnout, overwhelm, fatigue. They're just kind of frustrated. They feel like they don't have work-life balance, because that's the other part of it. They need support just as well as the patient. And so just trying to be in the middle and support both sides, but then also create a way for them to better communicate with each other as well. So those are some things that I have going on, and we'll see how it goes.
You are one busy lady, and we are very grateful for you. Angel, did you take notes? Because you're fired. Talaya, you're the new co-host of the Croc podcast, and Angel, you'll be missed.
I'm already packing my bags.
You're the best, Angel. Don't listen.
So, Talaya, we ended the year with a podcast, I guess, triad of miracles. So, our survivor thrivers who are told that they're not going to make it or given bad news, and their miraculous stories, their miraculous journeys, and we've done two of them. And we thought that having you on as a guest with some of your experiences would be a nice way to round out our, as I said, our three podcast, I guess, theme of miracles. Angel, does that sound right?
Absolutely, right on the button. You know, it was a great time for me to share with her. And of course, as we continue on with this, I kind of like almost like our own type of module, if you want to call them modules. But it was really just a great opportunity for me to reach out to her and say, hey, look at the two episodes we've done. And, you know, I mean, I'll let you comment on that, but I think it was really a perfect time for her to come back.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing those with me, Angel. I thought they were so timely. Mary's story was just heart touching. Also, Dee, and perfect timing around Christmas. Mary, you know, Joseph, everyone. I'm like,
Yep.
they did a great job with this. And I really understood Dr. E, you know, with Mary, why she may not have wanted to personally come on, but her story, you know, was just so timely and so relevant, and it shined through, even though she wasn't the one telling her story. You were. So you did a fabulous job. And thank you, Dr. E, for, you know, really, it was almost like you were speaking from your perspective as well, but you were telling Mary's story. And I think it's so important to hear that from, you know, the doctor, the healthcare team as well. It makes it more personal. And with Dee, wow, the way that you gain trust with Dee, I'm like, we need more Dr. E's everywhere. I love how you said you let her guide you, you let her lead, you were patient. You didn't just come in and say, "Hey, I need you to get it together. I need you to trust me." You worked with Dee and you understood why she may, you know, why she had those trust concerns. And, you know, you honored that, you respected that. And that's what all of us need. We need doctors who are going to take the time to understand past traumas that we may have experienced in healthcare. And so, wonderful job, wonderful. I enjoyed listening to them. And I just want to give a shout out to both ladies, Mary and Dee. You are amazing. Keep going. And God has the final say, you know, and just continue to advocate for yourselves. And Dr. E, I know you're going to do it, but, you know, keep being you. Keep being you, because we need more doctors and healthcare providers like you who are going to take the time to make that connection, to hear and see the patients, and to love them as human beings. And that's what you do, Dr. E. And I felt it in each episode. So great job.
Oh, thank you so much. I will say that with Dee, I used every trick in my 40-year-old bag. I was running out of tricks, Talaya, and thank God she came around, because I didn't really have anything else smart to do. So, you know, it just worked out. And again, as Angel always says, it's always meant to be. And our creator, our God, is always so good to us and gives us, because we're just the vehicles for these cures. It's not us. We're just the hands and the mouths and the minds of God is really what we are.
Yeah, I agree with that. But great job making that connection and forming a human bond, because that's so important. And I think that's often overlooked, is seeing that person as a human being, not just seeing the cancer, but then also respecting their background, their perspectives, their experiences, and their traumas. All of that's so important, Dr. E. And you got the whole package. So, hey, you're on a roll, buddy.
Yeah, and I have hair now, so it's all coming together.
Yeah.
Talaya, give us a little background on the patient that you'd like to discuss.
Yes, I would like to tell you about Kelly. And Kelly was actually on my show. She has since written a book and she advocates for others. Now, Kelly was diagnosed with head and neck cancer, which some people roll it all together and call it oral cancer. And so Kelly was diagnosed with oral cancer in October of 2014. In 2016, she was told that she was terminal and she had about 4 to 6 months to live. Well, despite all the surgeries, all the treatments, disconfiguration of her face, all the different hurdles, not being able to eat, swallow, all of these things, Kelly is still with us today. And Kelly is still thriving. And Kelly has written a book. It's called Expiration Date, Straight from the Terminal Oral Cancer Ward. And I just think it's so amazing how, for a woman, you know, it can be really hard to show your face when you go through all these different changes. Just think about, some women won't even leave the house without makeup on. And so to navigate through life with this change that has happened to your face and to still show up, to advocate for others, to guide others, I think it's just a testament to her strength, her resilience, and her will to live, and in the power of God as well, because this woman was told she only had 4 to 6 months to live in 2016. Today, she's thriving. She's not at home laying in bed and doing all these things. She has a blog. She's written a book. She does all these different things with her family. She has a life. And I think Kelly's story is so important because it shows you that you can go through something really hard. You can be written off. You could be told that, hey, your days are numbered. And God will say, well, that's not what I said. And here we go.
I love it. And just to give the listeners a little background on head and neck cancer, it's actually a subject that's very near and dear to my heart. And, I go on these podcasts and I'm a very optimistic practitioner and I try every possible way to make patients feel comfortable and have access to me. And I wear the jerseys and the whole thing. And I have to tell you, the only time that I'm not me is when I have my first visit with a head and neck cancer patient. And there's a reason. So to really uplift and really, try to put Kelly's story into perspective, I become this very, very transparent and negative Nelly. And I go through head and neck cancer for an hour about all the terrible things that are going to happen to them. And not just for a day and not just for a week, not just for a month, but it takes an entire year to not even get back to normal, but hopefully get back to about 75% or 80% of normal. Every single thing that's important to us, our ability to communicate with others, our ability to enjoy a meal, to have dinner with family and friends, to be able to enjoy and taste and experience the beauty of cuisine, ethnic food, the beautiful spices and fragrances and textures and taste of food, to be able to swallow, to be able to take food and without even thinking about it, just chew it and suck it down. And you're watching a football game and you're eating your wings and you're not even thinking about what you're doing because it's so easy. It comes so naturally. It's like breathing. And also the thing that we think is disgusting, it's called spit. Spit is the greatest thing that God has ever invented because it allows us to do all the things we mentioned. Then you take the inner linings of our mouth and the top of our palates and the bottom of our tongues and all those tissues that coat and line our aerodigestive tract. And then you throw some chemotherapy and radiation therapy at it. And this entire environment changes drastically. Patients dry up. Everything tastes like cardboard. They can't swallow. They can't talk. They can't communicate. And the worst thing about it is all the pain, but more so the thickening of their secretion. So they're always feeling like they're drowning. And then we just keep on pushing it and pushing it. They start feeling this after week 2. They go to week 3. They go to week 4, 5, 6, 7. They're in their 7th week of therapy. And finally, they see the light at the end of the tunnel. But is it really the light at the end of the tunnel? It's not, because even though when they come back 2 weeks later, they're not, the Walking Dead anymore, but they're still close to that. And then they come back a month later and they're tiny, tiny increments of improvement. And then after the 3-month mark, when they get their restaging and the PET scan, which shows complete response and cure of the cancer, they still don't feel like who they were. And it takes months and months and months. And it's so important for me to change, to go from Dr. Jekyll to Mr. Hyde, because I need these patients. I need these survivor thrivers to be prepared. Doctors are famous for under explaining and for not being accurate for what a patient is going to go through. We don't use words like pain. We say you're going to be a little uncomfortable. We're not going to say this hurts. We're going to say you're going to feel a little pressure. So after all my decades of practice and after seeing the devastation that my modality does to these patients, I am the Camp Pendleton, the what a Paris Island Marine drill sergeant just for that 1 hour. And then after I break them down, then I bring them back together. So I'm sorry to kind of jump in on your beautiful story, but I did want to add like a layer of complexity, a layer of another dimension to it, so everyone understood exactly what Kelly went through.
Thank you, Dr. E. I think that's so important. And I really love how real you are, because that does help mentally prepare someone for what's to come. The part of uncertainty and not knowing what to expect can cause so much anxiety for survivor thrivers. And so I really love how you say, hey, there's going to be pain, not just a little discomfort, so people can mentally prepare for that. And thank you so much for sharing that, Dr. E. The other thing I think is really important to share about Kelly, and her name is Kelly Uren Moody. And Angel, I will share her information as well. So if people are interested, they can, check out her book or go to her blog. But Kelly had shared with me that her favorite word is gratitude. And so, despite all the things that she has been through, her body has been through, the changes that she has had to go through due to surgery, if I'm not mistaken, she doesn't have part of her tongue any longer. If I'm not mistaken, she's still grateful. She's still grateful to be alive. She's still grateful to have her loved ones, her life. And so I just want people to know that it doesn't matter how you look. It doesn't matter, what you've been through. Just keep showing up for life, because that's so important, and show up in the best form that you can. None of this is easy. Cancer is not easy, but Kelly is definitely an inspiration. And she is the real deal too. Like you, Dr. E, she will be honest about what she has experienced, what it has taken her through, what she has had to give up. And so in all the trials and tribulations, I know sometimes that, she's not feeling well and things like that. That's still a part of her journey. But each day she continues to keep going. And so check out Kelly Uren Moody, and her website is faceithheadon.com. So faceithheadon.com. And I love the name of her website, because that's exactly what she does. She faces it head on every day. And she's been doing that since 2014. So if that's not, an example of hope and determination, I don't know what is.
Oh my God, what a great way to end a 3-podcast series, Talaya. So beautifully and compassionately relayed to us and to our survivor thrivers. Angel, you always get the last word.
I find it amazing as we're talking about Kelly, and I was able to scroll and see that she is on a 5-star rating for this book. And what I did was, actually, as you were telling the story, is that I purchased the book, and we're going to donate that book to any listener that listens to our episode, and we're going to give that book free. So I have just purchased the book right now. It's available on Amazon, hardcover. So I did do that. And I think that it's important that this story lives on. One of the greatest things that I saw was at the very end, as you can hear my little son in the background, but as you can hear, one of the greatest things that we heard was the ending part of the description of the book, which you were so great enough to paraphrase. And it says that she does, however, emphasize that it's okay to laugh while you cry. In the end, the gratitude shines through. That is amazing.
Excellent. Talaya, in closing, any last thoughts or words about Kelly or about yourself, before we do our crock blessing?
Well, Angel, first of all, I want to thank you so much for purchasing a book and gifting it to someone who could really benefit from it. Thank you. That's a blessing. And I'm sure Kelly would appreciate it as well. Dr. E, thank you so much for everything that you do. Thank you for allowing me to share Kelly's story and be a part of the series. It's such a blessing. And I love to be in community with doctors and physicians like you. Angel, great job on everything that you do to keep the show going. And I just really love you guys. I'm so happy that we met and I look forward to doing more. So thank you.
You will be on forever and ever and ever until you're 90. So, you will get what you wish, and you may wish that you didn't wish what you did. All kidding aside, Talaya, it is an honor to collaborate with you. It is an honor to be on this earth at the same time with you. It is an honor to not only know you as a colleague, but to know you as a friend. And you are always welcome here. And your work, your life's work, is a destiny. It is not a job. It is not something that you do. It's not a side hustle. It is in your soul to help others and change the care and the outcomes for our survivor thrivers, being one yourself. So what better way to end, Angel, but with our crock blessing? And today, it's always a blessing for all of our survivor thrivers, but I'm going to ask this blessing specifically on Talaya. And I always say, and I ask our Creator, our Lord or God, to give our survivor thrivers Talaya and allow them to live a very long, healthy, happy, and cancer-free life. God bless you, Talaya. God love you, Talaya. Peace.
Peace. God bless.